Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So this is the third time that I'm trying to take this reading, to film this reading, and I don't know what happened to my phone. I really hope that this time it will work. The first two times it seemed like it was filming and then nothing was saved, so I don't know what happened. And as you know, I never repeat the same reading, so I saved the cards and I will walk you through the reading because I think that it was really interesting. And I just have to say one note. It's been exactly 7 days since we lost Rosie. It's still hard for me to start a reading without her coming to rub my legs and ask me to give her something or to open the door for her. And without seeing her in the window asking me to open the door for her or to come in, really difficult. So today's cat tarot is a new deck called GRIMALKIN'S Curious Cats Tarot. It's by MJ Cullinan. She's the creator of Crow Tarot and many other quite well-known animal tarot decks. I think that the dog tarot as well. I have it here, but I will use it later on. So she creates animal and especially cat and crow tarot decks and oracle decks. So this one is her latest, if I'm not mistaken, and it is a beautiful cat tarot. Just look at this lover's card. The black cat and the white cat and their heart are connected in this beautiful way. Okay, so this reading is about something that Neil Sean said in one of his videos lately, and that was that Queen Camilla might want to try and heal the rift between King Charles and Harry. Now, Harry is supposed to be in the UK now. He was supposed to be in court today, but he wasn't. And it made the judge really angry. And the second part of this reading will be about what happened to Harry today. Why didn't he go to court? And Charles apparently went to Romania for a getaway that he needed very badly. And Neil Sean said that this could be a very good opportunity for Camilla to try and get to Harry, maybe offer him a place to stay because he cannot stay at Frogmore Cottage any longer, and try and talk some sense into him, or try to get him and King Charles on speaking terms. Despite everything that he has said and done to her, and despite the hurt and the pain that he caused her. So I decided to do this reading, and I'm using this deck, and I'm using a spread that comes from this book, the 365 Tarot Spreads, and it is called And a Family Feud Spread. It is supposed to be done on January 28th because that is the birthday of King Henry VII, who was the one who ended the War of the Roses. Now, you don't have to do it at the same date. So I decided to use that spread this time. And on another note, today is Lilibeth's birthday, and Princess Eugenie gave birth to a second son. So maybe this is a payback to Harry and Meghan for taking the limelight in her wedding. So now she's taking the limelight from Lilibeth's birthday. Okay, so I will walk you through the reading and each card and what it means. So the first card was, so before I start, please take a few minutes to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to discrimination. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so the first card is the Knight of Pentacles, and the question is the situation in hand. So the situation in hand is described by the Knight of Pentacles because the Knight of Pentacles is the hesitant knight. And this is the archetype of the person who is looking for confirmation. And because of that, he's missing opportunities. Harry is not making a step without asking for confirmation from his wife. He keeps looking for confirmation. Look at this cat. He is deliberating. He's unable to make a decision. And because of that, he is missing opportunities. So although this card looks very sunny, very vibrant, this is a card that shows a standstill. This is a card, and this is where the situation is right now. The situation is in a standstill because Harry just cannot make a decision without consulting with his wife, without getting her permission. And as long as she's not giving a permission, things will never go further. So the next card was, is there a middle ground? Does a middle ground exist? And the answer was the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is the pacifier. This is the person who is the appeaser. So this is a yes answer for this question, because the King of Swords is the person who it's the archetype of the person who is always looking to pacify, to make peace between two people or between partners. It is about relationships, it is about partnerships, it is about the Libra man who always looks for an equilibrium. So yes, there is a middle ground existing, that they can reach a middle ground. So the next card was, what is the role that Camilla can play in this feud? And the card that I got was the Queen of Swords. Now, this is important because you will see the cards later on. And the Queen of Swords is the queen that never thinks about herself. This is the queen who has social responsibility. She's the idealistic queen. So although she was hurt, although she was slighted, never mind whatever she felt, what Harry said about her in the book, in the Harry and Meghan documentary, she is still wishing to find a way to make things better for the royal family, for the British people. She's not thinking about herself. She's thinking about the good of others. And this is exactly what the Queen of Swords archetype is. So this is about sacrificing herself for the others. So this is what this is about, and this is her role. So the next card is there any personal action that she can take to heal this rift? And the card that I got was the Two of Swords. So what does it mean? The Two of Swords is a card that speaks about the need to look at reality and not mask or take off the blind, the blind, and to see reality as it is. So this is a warning card, and this card is telling Camilla that her main role here is to make Harry see reality as it is. Because if he doesn't, he will end up, and all of them will end up in the Three of Swords energy, which is destruction and failure. So this is a card that is telling Queen Camilla that what she needs to do is make a to-do list and to take into consideration all of the things that can go wrong. This is a card that specifically talks about family rivalry. So she needs to show or to make Harry take off the blindfold and make him see reality as it is. But it's more than seeing reality, it's coping with reality. It's about not being disengaged from reality, but to be able to cope with reality and to do things in order to handle the reality as it is, so he won't end up in the Three of Swords energy. So the next card is interesting because the question is, does Camilla have the strength to truly forgive Harry? And the answer is the Five of Pentacles, which is a no answer. So what does it mean? It means that despite the fact that Camilla was really very, very hurt, despite the fact that she's hurting, that she is in pain after everything that Harry said and did to slight her, to hurt her. She is taking the role of the Queen of Swords and putting this pain aside, but she cannot really forgive him. So despite the fact that she cannot forgive him, she is taking that role. She's able to take that role. So she's unable to truly forgive him, but she's able to take the role of the pacifier. And the next card is, can she be the bigger person and place those feelings of hurt aside? And the answer is the Five of Swords. And this is exactly the answer, because the Five of Swords is a card that speaks about getting off the fence and taking action. So this is exactly what we were talking about. And this is about Queen Camilla looking at the reality and saying to herself, doing nothing is worse than doing something. So I need to do something. So despite the fact that Harry did everything in his power to hurt me, and despite the fact that his wife did everything that she could to slight me, I am the bigger person. I am taking action. So the Five of Swords is about getting off the fence. It's about taking action. So this is exactly the answer, and this is why Camilla is able to be the bigger person, although she cannot really forgive him. So she cannot forgive him, but she can be the bigger person. So the next card is, what is unsaid? And I think that this card tells us really in a very precise way, because this card is the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. So what is unsaid to Harry? And I think that one of the things that Harry needs is someone to put a mirror in front of him and tell him, look at your life, look at your childhood, look really at your life, look at everything that you have. Your wishes came true. Everything that you have abundance, you have a happy family, you have everything that you ever wished for. Your childhood, she was a happier childhood than most people on the planet. So stop whining, because this is your life, and your life is much better than most. So really stop whining. And this is what is unsaid, because if you think about it, all of those interviews and all of those talks that he had, the people that just validated his feelings of being a sacrifice, his feelings of feeling of being treated badly, of being mistreated. These people are not telling him the truth. He needs someone who will put a mirror in front of him and will tell him the truth. You are a whiner. You have everything that you could ever wish for. Stop crying. So the next card is what must be communicated to him. Accept this. And the card is the Seven of Wands. So this is really important because I always say that Harry has ADD. And the Seven of Wands is a card that describes ADD very well. This is a card of someone who needs to focus on the most important things and leave the trivial things aside. And a person who has ADD finds it very hard to do because he's spreading on so many things that he has very difficult way, he finds it very difficult to focus on the most important things. And this is something that must be communicated to Harry. You have ADD. You need to focus on the most important things in life. Put the trivial things aside. Stop spreading on 101 things. Stop dealing with court cases and so many things. You're spreading on so many things and you achieve nothing. The Invictus Game documentary was now canceled. Why is that? Because you're not really doing the job. You're not really doing what you wanted. You're not really focusing on the things that you wanted to achieve. You're not doing climate change. You're not doing charity work. You're not doing the things that you really wanted to do in life. So start focusing on the most important things. Leave the trivial things aside. And then the next card is what would a third party help? So is Camilla's interference, will it help the feud? And the answer is yes. So if Camilla will really interfere and try to heal the feud, the answer is Ten of Pentacles, which is abundance, it's richness, and it is also about a happy family. So the answer is most definitely yes. So first of all, it needs Camilla's interest and decision to interfere, and naturally Harry's ability to listen to her and him willingness to listen to her. So if he does listen to her and if she does interfere, what will be the ultimate outcome? And here it was really interesting because what I got was the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is a very young energy. That means that he will never go back to being a senior working royal. But if the Page of Pentacles is the energy of someone who is the clerk, so someone who can work, someone who is studious, someone who is good with money, with work, with inheritance. So if he does get free from his wife, he might be able to go back to the royal family as a page, not as a senior working royal, as a minor working royal, something like Princess Beatrice, not as in the same level as even I don't know who. I think that even Lady Louise, if she decides to become a working royal, will be in a higher rank than he will. But he might be able to go back to being a working royal And maybe if he does regain the trust of the royal family, he will be able to gain more and more, I don't know, clout. But this is the final outcome, a page, nothing more than that. Okay, so then I did a second reading and I asked, why did Harry miss court today? Why didn't he go to court? Because the official excuse was that it was because of his daughter's birthday, the second birthday. And then I did a reading, and what I got was the Six of Cups in between two queens, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Two queens that are two contraries. The Queen of Pentacles is the adventurous queen. This is the queen that will do things, will go out on a limb. This is a queen that will take risks. This is a queen that is very much going through changes. This is the archetype of a person that will destroy in order to build, someone who has no fear, someone that will break conventions. And this is also a card of someone who has an addiction problem. And then on the other side, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and this is also the King Charles's card. And then we get the Queen of Pentacles on the other side, and this is the card that represents Queen Elizabeth, but this is also the opposite card. This is a card of someone who is very stable, someone who is very good with inheritance, with money, with property, but also someone who is very, very stable, someone who doesn't change, someone who will never destroy. This is exactly the opposite from the Queen of Cups. And in between, we get the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a card of getting out of the comfort zone. This is about rectifying errors of the past. This is about childhood. This is about nostalgia. This is about the children, and this is also about a return of a person from the past. So it seems like Harry is going back to the UK where he grew up. This is the return of the person from the past. He has the ability to rectify his errors. He can get out of the comfort zone and change things, but he is trapped in between two forces that are fighting in between him. So this is the adventurous force, the addiction, the need to be wild, or the need to fight, and the other side, which needs to be stable, that needs stability, that wants stability, inheritance, property. And this could also be the grandmother and the father, these two opposite forces inside Harry that are both pulling two different sides, and Harry is torn in between. Now today I listened to Avid Gardner, who talked about it, and she said that maybe Harry is rethinking the whole thing about suing the male. The group, the newspaper groups, and maybe he is thinking twice on whether or not to go on with this lawsuit. So maybe these are the scrupulous, and these are the reasons why both of these forces are tearing him apart. Each is pulling to a different side, and in between he's trapped with these feelings of nostalgia and thoughts about his childhood. I think that this is not about his child, it's about his childhood. So then I took two oracle cards one for Harry from the Power Animal Oracle card. And the card that I got for Harry was the Antelope, which is about being decisive, make a decision. And this is exactly what we got regarding the decision that he has to make about going forward with this lawsuit, coming to testify in the courtroom. So this is exactly it. The antelope needs to make a decision whether she's running, whether she's sitting, but she cannot be indecisive. And this card is telling Harry, you cannot be indecisive. You need to make a decision and take the appropriate action. And then I took a second oracle card from another MJ Cullinan deck from the Orban Crow Oracle, and this was the Insight card. And the Insight card is about the ability of the crow to think and to be creative and to think about solution and creative solutions for problems. And this card shows us how the crow is thinking about how to get this shrimp from the jar. So he noticed that when he drops stones into the jar, the water is going upwards. So he's dropping more and more stones, and the water is going upwards, and the shrimp is going with them upwards, so he can get the shrimp. And this is exactly what Camilla is doing. This is about thinking outside the box, about creative solutions, and having insights about finding other ways to get solutions to problems. So this is Camilla's card. So this is it, and I really hope that this time the camera did work. And if it did, then I'll see you in the next one. Bye.